Hi there, Sam Sorbo here for you accidental homeschoolers out there. Today we're going to talk about perfect is the enemy of good. And this is something that all homeschoolers wrestle with. And you, even though you're accidentally homeschooling, you're no exception. You're no exception to this sort of vice that perfection has on us. And so I want to try to break that down a little bit to make your life easier and make this very difficult time that we're in right now, just lift that burden just a little bit. Can I help lift the burden off of you for just a moment or two, just a little bit? So perfect, we think of the school as being perfect. We think of the education system as being the highest good in a sense, right? Everybody sends their kids to school. Everybody wants their children to have a good education, college prep and career readiness, all of that stuff. This is what I want to tell you. The schools are not perfect. They're not getting it done perfectly. So put that in the basket there. And then also, homeschoolers don't get everything done perfectly. They may try, but here's the thing. None of us are the Martha Stewart of homeschooling. Well, most of us aren't the Martha Stewart of homeschooling, because Martha Stewart was come on, let's face it, she was a machine. She was a corporation. She was a number of people who were all working to that end. So you see Martha Stewart, and she's got the multicolored eggs, and she's making the frittata, and she grew her own rice, and she grew her own mushrooms, and she did this and that, and it's all chopped up neatly for her to put together to make the frittata, and then it comes out of the oven as perfect. Come on, stop kidding yourselves, right? You can't be the Martha. You are not a corporation. It just doesn't work that way. So give yourselves a break. Now, for instance, I really enjoyed doing Shirley Grammer. Shirley Grammer it's a great writing program. By the way, no, they are not a sponsor. They don't sponsor me. So I can criticize them. I love Shirley Grammer. Their grammar program is excellent. It's just fantastic. My kids loved it. They used to beg me to do it, okay? But it also has a writing component. And when I first started doing Shirley, I did every single writing assignment because it was assigned. And I thought, well, if it's assigned, I better toe that line. I better perform, right? But the fact is, you don't have to do every single assignment. You just don't. You're the teacher now. You get to decide. Should you do most of the assignments? Probably, because there is a method to the madness, right? You are heading in a direction, and in theory, the people who have developed the textbooks understand that direction and know how to get there, but that's a theory. And just because it's a theory for them, for the children that they imagine, doesn't mean that it's a theory that applies to you and to your children. So you're in charge, you have the authority, you have the autonomy to decide. There's a fantastic book out there that I read when I first started homeschooling called The Well-Trained Mind. It is, without a doubt, the Martha Stewart version of home education, a classical Christian education. And it's great theory, okay? But the thing is that unless you have a super advanced, super capable child, you're not going to do everything that is advertised, that is recommended in The Well-Trained Mind. It's a great book. It's a fantastic resource. But then you need to step in as the authority. It's funny, I have a theme of authority this week. I did a whole thing on authority on Facebook over the weekend, Facebook Live. You can see that at my official Sam Sorbo Facebook page. Got some great comments on there as well. So back to the message today. Perfect is the enemy of good, and that goes for your kids too. Like, I'm fairly exigent. I read their essays, and then they get their essay back, and it's literally like covered in red or blue or whatever pen I had around, this and that. And my kids get discouraged. So I always, when I do that, there's always a few things on the page that I've said, wow, this is fantastic. And there always is. There's always something on the page that's laudable, that should be acknowledged, right? But here's the thing. They turn it back in a second time. Typically, I look at the changes that they've made and I say, wow, fantastic job. Good for you. Done. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for good. And when they do good, when they perform well, they need to be acknowledged, and then we move on, because they won't be perfect. There is no one perfect. No, not one, right? Just that one. Okay, so that's it. Perfect is the enemy of good. Cut yourself a little slack and understand you are not Martha Stewart. Nothing against Martha Stewart, although she did go to jail. Oh well, anyway, that's enough of that. So go to my website, samsorbo.com. You can find my books there, these two, also this latest book and Kevin's other books. I wish you well, because I know you can do this. And we'll meet back here again tomorrow. And don't forget to tune into my live YouTube feeds, please, 9 a.m. And go ahead and shoot me over some questions. You can find me at samsorbo.com and email any questions you have. I'm happy to answer them live on air or just in one of these videos. Your questions are important because you represent probably a lot of people who are in the same boat that you're in. And you know, I talk to non-homeschoolers, but this is just off the rails. This is different, right? Because it's panic time, and in more ways than one. So I don't want you panicking about the education of your child, okay? All you want to do is ignite their innate curiosity and then watch them blossom, okay? All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you back here again.